Yo, what up, Ever?
Hey Ian, how you doing, man?
It's all right. I mean, I'm all right. So,
Yeah, dude, it's one of those days, huh?
it is facts. It is hot in here, and I'm drinking hot coffee. So, mm,
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's been one of those videos when I don't know what they're called when people are eating into the mic.
Muck Mukbang or something? Mukbang?
Is that
Something
what
like
it?
that. I
I have
think
no idea.
so. It's
I
like
just
where they like eat and people are like, oh yeah,
they,
they're just
yeah, yeah.
slowing. Oh, dude, it's disgusting. Low-key.
There's some noises where it's like, okay, that's satisfying, but there's some where it's like, how do people like this? This is
It's like a
gross.
train wreck. You can't. It's horrible, but you can't look away sometimes. You're
Oh
like,
yeah, that's true. All right, let's get into this. AEW Full Gear is around the corner. It's next week, right? So
yeah,
next
next week. Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah,
Um, yeah, a lot of matches. A lot of stuff to talk about.
yeah, man.
Um, let's go straight into it. So first match, they newly just announced Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy. Jack Perry. Are they going by has he always been called Jack Perry or was he always Jungle Boy?
I think he's Jungle Boy, but they always brought up his father, so they kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like they like breaking kayfabe and stuff, which they
Mm.
do anyways. But it's like, like your character, like I say your character's like Rey Mysterio. If they call you Oscar, whatever, Oscar Gutierrez every time, okay, like
But they
okay,
don't
what's
do that, but they don't do that for WWE,
no?
you know.
Because they're like, I don't know, they just want to be like different, I guess. But it's just Jungle Boy now. It's Jungle Boy Jack Perry
Yeah.
or Jack Perry. Just to like make
Or
fun of him. They make fun of his
maybe
dad.
it's just for the feud because it's pretty
Yeah,
personal.
yeah,
But yeah, apparently it's gonna be inside steel cage. Kind of weird that he's going against Luchasaurus and not Christian Cage. Because I
yeah.
feel
That's weird.
like, I mean, yeah, because I don't know. Uh, because he got squashed by Christian Cage. Oh yeah, Christian's hurt anyways, so it's not like you could have faced him.
Yeah.
But who do you think? Who's your pick for that match?
I don't care for you. I don't know why they. Is it, I know it's personal, but like I don't know. I would think like for storyline wise, I would make it Jungle Boy just to keep the
Right.
feud going. Otherwise, like until Christian Cage comes back. But like realistically, Luchasaurus could destroy him easily, you know.
Yeah.
But like for
Um,
storyline wise, I'd say Jungle Boy.
I would like me personally, I would like to go Luchasaurus, but here's the problem though. Jungle Boy, the way I would have booked it, Luchasaurus goes over, Jungle Boy is out for maybe a month or two, but he was already out. He just got back.
Yeah,
So it's just like, okay, well, he can't be out again. Um, so I don't know. Like, I don't know where you go from here because, like you said, Christian's hurt. So where if Jungle Boy wins, you know, clearly what's next for him is Christian Cage, but he's hurt. But if
mm,
Luchasaurus loses, it's like again, where do you go from here? Christian Cage is
yeah.
still hurt, and it's not like he could be a number one contender for the world title because it's like
Again,
you just lost to Luchasaurus. Um, so unless Christian Cage could find somebody to bring to his and make a stable to like that way he Jungle Boy has somebody else to feud with, but then he
yeah.
has Luchasaurus, and if Christian brings somebody else, it's like, well, then Jungle Boy needs somebody with him, have a tag team feud or something. So I don't
Well,
know. It's
yeah.
very it's a tough one, but
Well, they're not
since
using a lot of their roster, so they could definitely add more people. Like, like, hey, we
yeah,
need you for the storyline. Go ahead for at
yeah.
least a month or two. I don't know how long Christian's out, but
I
for like,
feel oh my god, I'm throwing a blank of what's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, well, you always correct me anyways. Dante Martin.
yeah, Dante
I feel
Martin.
like, yeah, if I feel like if he joined forces with Jungle Boy, I think one, that would be a great team. And two, it gives something where it's like continue the feud. If Christian finds somebody to, like to join their
Yeah,
stable. Um, or maybe Dante Martin could feud with Jungle Boy. He could join with Christian Cage.
yeah,
Um, so because he had that great match with Brian Cage. this past Rampage. So
Mm.
kind of weird because I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, totally forgot about him.
Yeah, me too.
Haven't seen him or heard of him since All Out. So that's been 2 months already, right?
Yeah,
All right.
it's been 2 months.
So I'm going with Jungle Boy. You said Jungle Boy?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin. Did you ever thought we were gonna get this match?
No, I mean, I thought two of those people should have retired by now.
I'm gonna be honest. It's
There are
dope.
three.
It's dope though, because it's here's the thing. I'm an Impact fan, TNA wrestling fan, right? Hearing I always loved Jeff Jarrett, always loved Jay Lethal, always loved Sting. Darby and Allen. I'm a fan, but it's whatever to me.
Yeah,
Uh, so this match is pretty cool. I just feel like it's not getting the credit that it deserves
yeah.
because it's like we're getting Jeff Jarrett versus Sting again. Like we haven't seen that since like '05, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's
Maybe
been a minute.
long. Yeah. Or actually, no, I think I think '09.
Oh, so
So yeah. With this one, I'm going with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
yeah, it just happened so fast though. No, didn't he just come on? He literally like debuted, talked smack about WWE, and has a match within like a what 1 week period, 2 week period.
Yeah, I didn't, I'm gonna be honest, did not knew he was fired until the week he showed up to AEW.
Oh, I get you.
So like that week, that's when I found out, and then he shows up on Dynamite, and I was just like, oh,
You
okay.
think they're rushing it? Like they should at least build it up for a couple, like a month or so.
Um, yeah, because like I said, I feel like it's not getting the credit that it deserves because this is
No.
kind of a big deal, this
Yeah,
match, and it's not. It's just like it's just another AEW match, but it's like, what? We're getting Sting versus Jeff Jarrett. They
yeah,
faced
it's
each
kind of
other in WCW. They faced each other in Puerto Rico. They faced each other in NWA TNA, and it's like they face each all over the world together, and we're getting a rematch, in AEW. So it is a big deal. Jeff Jarrett is teaming up with what's it, Jay Lethal. I don't recall that ever happened in TNA wrestling. So right
yeah,
now we're kind of getting like, and then Sanjay Doug is part of the team. So it's like we're getting a TNA versus AEW, even though Sting is a TNA OG. Um,
yeah,
I mean, we're basically getting a TNA wrestling match. So,
yeah, yeah.
oh, can you imagine Darley Eben in the NX division?
Wow.
Jeez, that guy. I feel like I would have liked him more if he was in TNA.
Yeah.
What other matches are on the card?
Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter for a title that none of them had get credit for when they win.
I don't know why that match is taking place. Honestly, Tony
Yeah,
Storm. Obviously, I don't want to talk about it because there's no point. It's there. It's
yeah,
not a real title at this point.
yeah.
So
Because remember like how like John Moxley's title, it was interim, but it never counted towards his record. So he doesn't
no,
count it. He doesn't
yeah.
count. So I'm like, why you're facing for
Why
a
are you
title that
defending
doesn't
it?
even. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just wait for the champion to show up. When she's ready, when she
but
feels better.
it's Thunder Rosa gonna show up? No, I feel like
No,
she should have. Apparently, she never had surgery. The rumor at the time was she needed surgery, but she never got surgery. It was just more
well,
like, oh,
I
I
need
just
time
need
off.
time off to heal my back, but she didn't want to do the job to Tony Storm.
Yeah, because I mean that match is kind of. Well, I mean, I mean they're both very great wrestlers, both ladies. They're pretty too, but at the same time, I'm like, if Jamie Hayter wins, like it's like you're winning a prize that's like you're not gonna have credit for. Might as well wait.
Exactly. It's already bad enough Tony Storm's not going to get credit for this.
Yeah, she's doing this months of wrestling as the champion and not even getting not yeah like you said not getting credit for it. I'm like, she deserves. I mean, obviously she deserves better than that. I mean, at least drop, at least just like go for the, once Thunder Rosa comes back, just have the actual match, and then Jamie down the road, she's still pretty fresh. She's not like
I
the
mean,
newest person
I
there.
don't understand why Tony Storm, I mean, not Tony Storm, Tony Khan is just like reaching out to Thunder Rosa saying, what's going on? because if you're
Or
still gonna be out for a while, then I'm just gonna make her the real champion.
yeah, just drop it. Just drop the
Yeah,
belt. This interim stuff is like I think they're trying to make it like two like sports. You know, like in boxing, if the champion's out, they make an interim belt.
right.
But nobody, I mean, nobody
But
wants
but
that,
here's the
you know?
thing. There's a difference from I feel like, oh, you sprained your ankle or you dislocated your shoulder. Um,
Well, sprained
okay,
ankle is like a
that's
week or two, you know? Like not like
but
2, 3 months
if
or
it's
something.
leading on to a pay-per-view,
Yeah.
for example, like, okay, we got Full Gear next week, right? And then you already promised these people, like, for
Yeah.
example, let's just say Tony Storm is the actual AEW Women's Champion, and she got hurt. To have an interim championship match, that makes sense because she's only going to be out for a couple of weeks, and we already promised these people, a women's title. So in a couple of weeks, we're having Tony Storm versus the intern AEW champion to crown the
Yeah.
undisputed. Not somebody who's, oh, I hurt my back, but there's no time of when I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
Because
It
it's like
doesn't.
if you don't have a time frame of when you're going to come back, why have an intern champion? And also, too, like interim champion is just like a month or two. Like we know you're not going to need surgery kind of deal.
Yeah, it's
So,
just kind of like okay. I mean, I would care more about it,
but at the
like,
same,
but
yeah, at the same time, you have. I mean, I know Brock Lesnar is a different story, but you have somebody like Brock Lesnar who couldn't even show up on every pay-per-view, but he was still our champion at one point. Why can't they
yeah,
do that with Thunder Rosa? We're saying like, you know what? We're not gonna have the AEW title defend for a bit. Just focus on the TBS.
yeah.
And
The
so I
TBS
don't
is
know.
the main women's title anyway.
If we kind of, in a way, yes, because I actually get excited more for that title than the actual women's championship.
Yeah, so I would go
So
still with t Tony Storm with
Tony
that one
Storm, I'm
because it
going with
doesn't
that
make
one.
sense. It doesn't make sense for Jamie to win it. Like, okay, you're a champion, but it's not gonna be
Yeah,
counted as a complete a reign. It's gonna just
it's
be like
already
you
bad
hold the
enough.
belt.
Yeah, it's bad enough. Tony Storm is not getting counted for this.
Yeah,
And then we got the one that I never thought was gonna happen: Chris Jericho versus Brian Danielson, Claudio, and Sammy Guevara. Oh my gosh, Sammy, yeah,
Guevara,
Guevara,
Guevara, Guevara
for the Ring of Honor World Championship. That's first of all, that's a main event right there,
in
and
itself.
it's
Yeah, what the
yeah,
hell?
and so that's a crazy main event, and the fact that they're just treating it as another match, it's just mind blown.
Yeah, I mean, even like the fact that like I thought Ring of Honor was supposed to be for the younger guy. You know what I mean? I thought what we talked about is like how Ring of Honor should be the developmental,
Right.
but three of those four. I mean, even Sammy's no, Sammy's not that old, but
Ring of Honor doesn't need to be at the that kind of
developmental.
yeah, it just needs to it could be a main show itself.
But I'm
Um
saying like these guys should be facing for the world title, not for like a secondary company they bought, you know?
right.
It's like if
Um
WWE bought like let's say when if WWE bought like Evolve, like, oh yeah, you're the Evolve champion. Oh, Evolve's gone now, but I'm saying let's say when WWE bought Evolve, they're like, okay, you're the Evolve champion. So we'll make these four guys, top guys, become the go for the Evolve champions instead of for the world WWE championship or the world. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's kind of like, okay, but why not just make them go after whoever wins this match or loses still has opportunity to face for the world AW World Championship because that's yeah Moxley, you have MJF, Brian Danielson, Chris Jericho, Claudio, and Sammy. Those six guys, who knows, in a six-way or whatever
right.
down the
No,
road.
I agreed, but yeah, I feel like this is gonna be the best match of the card to be honest.
Yeah,
Um
I mean just the fact that Claudio and Brian Danielson are both on the same. Well, they have a
why is Sammy in the match? That's the weird part.
I don't know. I mean, he's like I don't know.
Because he's part of Chris Jericho's group.
yeah, so it's like teammates are facing each other.
Yeah,
Why
it's
not have
basically
what?
a tag team match.
Yeah, like why not have Chris Jericho versus Daniel Bryan, and then have somebody
Claudio.
else, or like
Yeah,
have like who's in the running right now besides make like see Willow Utah's and see it's kind of like every let me see the roster here. So I'm
I
like
don't know.
sometimes,
But
but you know what I mean
anyways,
like
let's
add
go
somebody
on. Yeah,
else
let's just go
or
on to
Ethan
that.
Page or Rush.
Who do you think is gonna go over this match? I'm gonna go with Chris
Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they need
Chris
him.
Jericho.
They need him for the TV deal, so they're gonna keep him.
So we also got the Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory. I'm going with the Acclaim. I feel
Acclaim, yeah,
like, yeah, the Acclaim, they deserve to retain the title.
yeah.
What else we got? Oh yeah, we got,
Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose.
yeah. So I'm assuming Jade is a face now.
I don't know. Yeah, I think she is.
I mean,
But
she's
does it make
fine.
sense how like Nyla Rose stole the belt, but then she's defended in a Rampage? Like, how do you
It
defend a?
yeah, I don't
Doesn't
know
make sense.
either.
Like, I'm gonna steal a belt and I'm gonna defend it, but the champion can easily just come up and beat me up and take the belt back. Like, oh, I'm gonna
But
defend it
she
on
has
Rampage.
it.
Now Nyla Rose has the belt, but she's defending it.
Yeah.
Like, wait, doesn't doesn't
It
make
doesn't, yeah, it
sense.
doesn't make sense. And why are people showing up for that title defense where it's like you're not even the champion? So even if I beat you, doesn't count.
Exactly. It's like there's like these the women's titles. They're making it like not a joke, but it's like, what are we doing here? You know, like what are
Yeah,
we doing?
nothing makes sense about
Like
it.
they're like devaluing the women's championships, and obviously the goal is to like obviously the goal is to obviously I don't know the AEW has not been the best at the women's division, right?
No, no, it hasn't.
No, I mean at
No.
least WWE's trying somewhat. You know?
The best is Impact Wrestling TNA.
Yeah,
It's
Impact has
always
been like
has been.
yeah they've been like the premier women's like development. That's why a lot of now a lot of the women are back in WWE. We'll talk about that later though, but yeah it's I don't know for that one obviously I'll go for Jade because it doesn't make sense like why.
Yeah, Jay. Nia Rose, I think she deserves the AEW TBS championship, but from taking the belt off Jade, I don't think she's the one.
And I
So
think Jade should just finally go for the women's championship. Remember how Goldberg?
no. Oh my
No,
gosh, no.
no, go for it,
No.
but not win. It'd be one of those like, oh, I finally dropped the other belt and I'm gonna go for this belt. You know?
I feel maybe no. I think she should continue the TBS championship run. I feel like if somebody's gonna take the title off her, I think it should be Tony Storm, um,
Yeah,
or Sky Blue.
yeah, Sky
But
Blue.
I feel like going to the after the AEW Women's Champion, I feel like she would save it, but
Yeah,
who knows?
and they
So
should just rename it eventually. Come on, there's like it's gonna be on HBO Max or Discovery Plus or something. Why even call it
no,
TBS and TNT anymore? Just call it like the television title or call it like the whatever progression title or something like that. You
right.
know, or the woman's something title. You know, woman's secondary title. I don't know.
So now
Anyways,
we're down to our last two. We got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Saraya. Um, Another match that people are not giving credit because it's just another match on the card. But out of all these matches, this one I truly understand. Like every other match, like the Jericho's match, Jeff Jarrett's match, um, I feel like those, and obviously the John Moxley match, those are like the claim, the tag team title match. Those are like the big pay-per-view matches. This one as well, the Dr. Britt Baker and Saraya,
I think it's
it's a big pay-per-view match, but it's too soon.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Too soon.
I know it's like they. I don't know. Is there like a limit for their storylines? Like after 3 weeks is dead or something? After a month? Like
That's
what's the
what
point?
I
What's the
don't
point of
understand.
like especially with Soraya or Paige, whatever. Soraya, Paige, Knight, whatever.
Right.
She's been out for so long. You want to build a long term storyline with this. Like you don't want to
Right.
just put her in a match a month.
Dr. Britt Baker, good choice. Great choice. Too soon.
Build her up a little bit more. Get him more
Right.
fired up. Like make a reason. Like well, Soraya
And
came back because she missed
why
wrestling, but
full
doesn't.
gear?
Yeah, man, save it for like what's the next one after this?
Revolution.
Oh, that's well. Which one do you think is bigger, Full Gear or Revolution? Full Revolution's kind of like their
Revolution.
Revolution's kind of like their SummerSlam, right? No,
No. I would say Revolution. Revolution is their best one
yeah,
compared to full gear.
it's the most recent one because the other one Full Gear's older, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of
But
doesn't make
still you had
sense.
double or nothing. You have all out next year. You could have built it up more.
Yeah,
What's the rush?
yeah,
She
like
rushed back last time and she went back to retirement because of a botch. So
one drop kick to the back, it's
yeah.
over.
So I don't understand what's the rush for this match to happen
Yeah.
so quickly.
Yeah, you want to
Uh,
like it's like a slow burn. Like you want to like because you want to enjoy the moment. You don't want her like get injured and then it's over again. Like okay, we had a
yeah,
good run. Like give her a couple months. Actually, she I don't know how long she's been training for. What from the
has
time
she been
she
training?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like from the time she like let's see, was she training while she was in WWE contract and then finally
No,
when her no was she training when she got released from her WWE contract?
no.
Was she training when she
All
signed
she's
her AEW contract?
I I have no idea.
Yeah, there's no videos of her training anywhere. Remember something's like even with Sasha Banks right now, she's training, but she's not wrestling. So like, okay, what's she training for?
Yeah,
WWE or what? But like at least you know she's doing something. Like with
she's
her, like
being
there's
active and all that.
there's no videos of her training. You see her on Twitch and stuff, whatever. But there's no training videos like her like actually doing moves and stuff. Like, did she just start training when she debuted? Is she training now, just now before the match? Like that's dangerous too, especially her.
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Yeah, hopefully she's okay.
In the main event,
Wait, who are we going for that one?
I'm going with
Britt.
uh, I think Soraya's gonna win. They'll
I'll
be
go for
dumb.
I'll go for Britt.
All right. John Moxley, MJF, main event. MGF is cashed in on his casino ladder poker chip. He's the number one contender. Apparently, clearly John Moxley was supposed to be CM Punk. We were supposed to get CM Punk versus MGF. Um, but I feel like if we would have gotten that, that would have been too soon. MJF taking the belt off John Moxley is a great choice. This is a rematch from All Out 2020.
Hmm.
Um, so that's why I feel like because MJF taking the belt from Punk ain't gonna mean nothing. Because CM Punk is, let's face it, CM Punk is not the face of AEW. John Moxley is.
Yeah.
So MJF taking the belt off him makes more sense to me. Um, and also too predictable if CM Punk was champion. Because
Yeah.
with John Moxley, it's like, ooh, who's gonna win? We're gonna get John Moxley. Is he gonna retain, continue this feud, or MJF gonna get the W? And MJF, what's the group, the firm, right?
The firm. Yeah.
They attacked them a couple weeks ago, so who knows? Maybe they'll interfere in this match and cost MJF the title.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. But I feel personally, MGF winning the title is too soon. And if
Yep.
all pay-per-view full gear, why not double or nothing? Why not all out? I just don't get the hype. I mean, last year we already got this big world title win. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. And that story makes sense just because the year after that, it was MJF versus I'm sorry, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega for the tag team titles. I mean, sorry, for the number one contender match for
Hmm.
the world title. Winter is coming. And then a year later, we got the main event MJF. Oh my gosh, not MJF, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega for the world title. So like
Hmm.
that whole and then Hangman Page winning the title, it was like, okay, this is like basically a 1 year rematch, you know. So I just don't see MJF winning at full gear, and I don't think he should. I
No.
I and I there's other ways that he could have won it,
Yeah.
but if he is going to become world champion, John Moxley is the guy that he should take the title away from him. I just don't
Yeah.
really like the feud that well because it's just like, oh, I'm the number one contender. That's it. There was,
Yeah.
there was no build up. But again, it wasn't supposed to be John Moxley. It was supposed to be CM Punk. And like I said, I'm telling you, I don't even know if you remember, John. This is a rematch from All Out. So it's like I know that build up. Like this makes sense to me, but they're not using that. They're just like, oh, I'm the number one contender. I'm gonna beat John Moxley at full gear. That's the story.
Yeah.
But obviously with CM Punk, it would have been a different story, a different story and all that. So I'm gonna go with I think John Moxley should retain, but I'm gonna go with MGF. he's gonna get the W and walk out AEW champion.
I'll go for Moxie just because, like you said, about time. And I think they just build it up. Well, Revolution's the next one. Oh, I don't know if they had something in between, but Revolution's the next one. So that's 4 months of a
Right.
build up for this one. So I would say Moxie retains and he keeps it until Revolution.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, and I feel like the one who should, besides MGF, I just don't like the build-up. I think Brian Danielson should be the one taking the belt off John Moxley.
Yeah.
But since they're in the same group, you know, I don't know. I guess the only person left is MGF. I also think Brian Cage should be champion.
They gotta build
Um,
him back up to a monster.
yeah. But he is
Anyways.
part. Oh yeah, we forgot one more match, that world title, the tournament, but we don't know who's in the finals yet.
Yeah, no, that's still in the
So,
near.
but that'll probably be a future episode, anyways. But let's go on. Austin Theory cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Seth freaking Rollins for the U.S. Championship, and Seth freaking Rollins still retain. What are your thoughts on that?
It sucks that like Theory and it sucks that Theory lost his belt, his opportunity. But I don't know. I mean, was it working though? Him as like
I mean, he had a great, like, he was going up there, but then somehow he got lost in the shuffle. Um,
yeah, I think once McMahon left, it was kind
no,
of
I
like
feel like there was better ways that he could have cashed in. People are like, "Oh, it's not believable when he cashes in on Roman Reigns," and it's like, isn't that the purpose? I mean,
yeah, it's like do you think Dolph Ziggler actually would have won the belt or whoever else would have won the belt if they didn't like attack the champion when he was down?
yeah,
Like
Roman,
especially like if he cashed it in on Roman at like against anybody, like even at Crown Jewel, he was pretty beat up at Crown
yeah,
Jewel too.
he
And
could have
let's say,
cashed in Crown Jewels and he could have lost.
yeah, that's would have been
Yeah,
like, okay, Roman took the table, he took all this,
right.
and it's if he lost it at Crown Jewel, okay, but like I mean, it is what it is, but at the same time, like,
I mean, yeah, the
where do you
damage
go
is
from
done.
here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Um,
like I mean,
well,
it's not.
apparently Seth Rollins is going to be face because Bobby Lashley, he's turning heel. They're trying to build him up to be a monster again. Because apparently we're gonna see a rematch, Brock Lesnar, Lashley at WrestleMania. I feel like since we already got it at the Royal Rumble and we got it at Crown Jewels, I feel like WrestleMania is too far away. Survivor
uh,
Series War Games, I mean, that's even too soon. But I feel like if they were still gonna do day one, I feel like that would be a good pay-per-view or the Royal Rumble.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm happy Seth Rollins is going to be a face. Um, but yeah, I think there was other ways that he could have cashed in, and why would he cashed in on the title that he had before he won the Money in the Bank briefcase? Um, so I feel like if he was gonna win, I feel one if he was gonna cash in on the title, he should have just won the title, and then that way Seth Rollins could have a bigger push as a baby face. If Austin Theories is gonna have a new gimmick change, that makes sense. But if his gimmick's still gonna be the same, so nothing's wrong with being buried. The issue is I'm being buried as this gimmick because I'm coming out with a new gimmick. But if we're still gonna see the same theory, what was the point? Like I can't take you
yeah,
serious no more.
yeah,
After like Bray Wyatt faced Randy Orton at WrestleMania 37, it was a good match. The ending, even though it was a short match, it was the end. It was like the fact that it just took one RKO for Randy Orton to defeat the Fiend, and that was it. Like I couldn't take you serious. Drop the gimmick now. It
yeah,
wasn't because he faced Goldberg, because it's like it's Goldberg. You know what to expect.
yeah.
But with that match with Randy, so it's like, okay, drop the gimmick. It's done. It's over. Get rid of it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Where does Austin Theory go from here? But clearly he needs to go and feud with Seth Rollins, but for the US title,
Yeah.
that he should have just won the title. That way Seth Rollins goes after him, and also proves that Seth Rollins is the face now. So yeah. Oh, before we continue, congrats to Sheamus. He got married a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, lucky him. Um,
And
by the
besides
way, I
that,
didn't pick my nose. I scratched right here.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Outside of that, what else? Well, Sarah Logan is back in WWE.
Oh yeah, with the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, she looked like Max the Impaler though. So I
Yeah.
thought because Max the Impaler's from the Indies, everyone watches NWA or anything. She looks just like her,
Ooh,
like the same
speaking of
look.
NWA, Nick
Yeah,
Aldis, Aldis,
Aldous. Yeah,
he got suspended from NWA, right?
yeah, and oh well, his contract ended. Is he's not resigning, so they just suspended him. So like, we'll just suspend you until your contract is up. Like, it doesn't
60
make
days
sense.
suspension, or he
Yeah,
can't
because
go work anywhere.
his contract end January 1st, so 60 days will
Hmm.
make sense. Well, or whatever, you know. But they suspended him for that. I'm like, okay.
Apparently, you think he's gonna go to WWE?
I think he should, even for a run, because I mean he could go to AEW, but like, it's like he'd be lost in the shuffle with like he'd just be added to the Ring of Honor match or something, you know?
Um, no, not
Or
AEW, WWE.
I know WWE, and I'm saying like WWE is a better choice
Oh,
for him. Impact
no,
maybe for a little
Impact.
bit. Yeah,
Impact
see,
will
there
be
you
the
go.
best choice for him.
But I think he would have like a Cody Rhodes kind of thing, like where he comes in and stuff.
Nah,
Yeah.
I will have him show up. I don't know when Hard to Kill is, but I'm pretty sure it's after January 1st. Confront whoever's Impact World Champion. So no, I would give him like the biggest push.
Yeah.
Even if it's like he signs a 1 year contract. But yeah, I think obviously WWE would be the best choice, having him show up as the special guest entry, just like
Mhm.
he like Mickey James did, his wife the year
Mhm.
before.
But it's different because she's under contract with a different promotion. He's not. He's going to be a free agent by
I mean,
January
even yeah,
1st.
but even if he shows up,
Yeah.
I mean, like the history as a wife and husband, that'd be pretty cool. You know, last year his wife did it, now this year, or
Yeah.
well, this year his wife did it, and then next year he does it. You know, that'd be a pretty cool moment. But yeah, I think if he went to NXT for like a year, it'd be a good run for him and then go to the main roster. But if he goes straight to the main roster, I wouldn't have an issue. But I think he should go straight for the title, not the world title, like IC title or US title. Like
Yeah.
go straight to the mid card title.
Yeah.
And then that way he push him up there. Um, a quick thing. What do you think about Ali's new look? He looks like a boxer now.
Looks pretty cool.
I have mixed feelings. I like it,
Well,
but
yeah.
I I don't know. Like, is he really a boxer? Like,
Well, I think if I
or
were to
is,
look at it, it'd be like a history thing. 'Cause Chicago has a history of great boxers and great boxing like
but is he
community.
a boxer though? Because if it's just a look, I don't like it. If he is a boxer,
He was
I
a
do
boxer,
like
I
it.
think. I think
Was he?
he was like a semi-pro boxer or something like that. I forgot. No, wait. He was a police officer.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he
for
also,
sure.
I think he was also, I think, I don't know. I heard something about him being a, let me look
I
it
don't
up.
know. It's kind of like, you know how like people who don't, it's one of those things where, how guys wear UFC gear, but they're not MMA fighters.
Yeah,
That's like how I feel about Ali with that look. It's like, I mean, like, I think you look like a boxer. He looks cool. I just can't, take him serious.
yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's just a look, but who knows? He might just have fun with it. He's like, I'll just do it.
I
And they're
mean,
bringing the World Cup back.
it's definitely way better than his past gimmick or his past look.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're bringing back not bringing back, but they're doing a World Cup. Or are they bringing back?
I think they did it back in like when John Cena was around, so like 2016, 17. But
He
this is
did
like,
it. Yeah, that isn't it what what's his name? Shane McMahon won, right?
I think
Back
so. Yeah, that's why I was
back
like, okay,
so
that's
that was back in 2018.
yeah,
So it's the same World Cup, right?
yeah.
Okay.
But that should have title implications to it.
All right. Well, before we continue, you want to let the listeners and the viewers know about our merch and all that stuff.
Yeah, guys, check us out on teespring.com and prowrestlingtees.com for merch. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod, on Twitter at New Entry WP, and follow us. Listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts. There you go, Podcast and Radio Public. And if you haven't already, check out us out on YouTube at New Entry Wrestling Pod, and help by support, subscribe, and like.
Yeah. Please like and share this video and other future videos. So this past SmackDown, we saw LA Knight, Bray Wyatt. um, we're gonna get a is LA Knight, Bray Wyatt's first feud. Uh, if it is, and they're gonna have a match together, is it gonna take place on SmackDown? Is it gonna take place on a pay-per-view? What are your thoughts?
It's kind of a weird feud though. Isn't LA Knight like what is it? LA Knight's more like a what, like a bully, like
I'm gonna be
smart aleck,
honest.
egomaniac.
I have no idea. Yeah, I would.
Well, he's the
He
same character.
reminds me of the Miz, and also reminds me of the Rock back in 2003
Do you
when we
ever see
got the
his work?
Hollywood Rock.
Do you ever see his work in Impact?
Of course.
Eli Drake. It's the same
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
who
so
he
it's like
is.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, it's kind of, and then Bray Wyatt's more like obviously I'm dealing with these demons and stuff, so I don't know how they like mesh. That'd be kind of
Um.
interesting. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just a new feud, so we don't know.
Yeah. It's yeah, it is kind of the only thing is it's kind of weird because it's something that we're not used to, and it's plus it's LA Knight. But at
Yeah.
the same time, for me, like again, you just mentioned it, LA Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake, former Impact guy. So it's like I like it. Finally, they're using him. Um, is it a weird feud for Bray Wyatt to start off? Yes, but it's not a bad pick.
Right.
It's not a bad pick. But yeah, I'm glad LA Knight's gonna be taken on a serious level, especially if he is gonna have a feud with Bray Wyatt. That's a good start on his part.
Mhm.
On Bray Wyatt's part, pretty weird.
Yeah.
But now Bloodline, is the Bloodline gonna be part of War Games? Um, that's still on the unknown. But do you think they'll be part of War Games? I feel like they
Yeah, man.
should.
They're on the front cover, and it's perfect for them because it's five
Yeah.
people. So I'm like, well, that's a perfect match for them. Whoever they face.
They could face the Brawling Brews because there's three of them.
Mhm.
Add Drew McIntyre into the pick, and maybe I don't know Rey Mysterio or Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Uh,
we talked about this the last episode too. Like, who would be a good pick for them?
yeah,
Or like Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes right there. Boom.
yeah, that's
You
five
have
right
you
there.
have Brawling two of the Brawling Brutes with the Usos, Sheamus versus Roman Reigns,
Roman,
Drew Solo, and then
Kevin
Kevin
Owens
Owens
with
and
Sami Zayn.
Sammy. Yeah. Oh, that'd be
Makes
perfect
sense. And
actually.
Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre and Kevin Owens have history with the Bloodline, so and obviously with Sami
Exactly.
Zayn, so everything works
Yeah.
out. Uh,
Just to
yeah,
wait you have a couple weeks for them to like actually.
Mia Yim, she came back.
Yeah.
She came back. She's gonna join with the OCs to go face Judgment Day. So that's definitely gonna be part of War Games.
That could be War Games,
Ronda
yeah.
Rousey is gonna face Shotzi. Finally,
What?
Shotzi is getting a title shot and a pay-per-view. So that's great on her part. Plus she's
Yeah.
very, very sexy.
Yeah,
Very.
I've seen her in person before. I met her right before. I met her initial right before when her was like her tour or last tour. When you wrestlers announce they're leaving,
Right.
she was wrestling, and I remember meeting her.
Oh
Oh
yeah, she had a match on Impact on Bound for Glory and
no, no, I
back.
met her like at an independent show. I met her at like
Mm,
she wrestled at the show. I was like, oh, great match, nice to meet you. I was like, oh, thank you, you too. It's like, and then after that, she was ready to be like months later. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome.
yeah, last time I saw her was in Bound for Glory at
Yeah,
'09. She faced Madison Ray. So, but now all these years later, she's getting a women's title match against Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. So
wow.
very impressive on her part. Uh, Now to Impact Wrestling, the one match I'm very excited for. Overdrive is Moose versus Bully Ray. It's going to be a tables match. We also got Frankie Kazarian versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Champion. But Moose and Bully Ray, man, that's a dream match for me. And it's going to be a tables match. So Sammy Callahan is going to have a feud with Eric Young. That's going to be pretty interesting. Joe Henry is the new TNA Impact Wrestling digital media champion. So congrats to Joe Henry on that part. Um, yeah, Mickey James going to face Taylor Weil for the, Mickey James loses, she's gonna retire, but we all know that ain't gonna happen. So clearly in the future, maybe at Hard to Kill, we're gonna see Jordan Grace versus Mickey James for the Knockouts Women's Champion. So that be pretty cool to see.
And then Chelsea Green, she says I'm going home. Well, we don't know what that means. Remember that?
Yeah.
After she lost, she's like, I'm going home.
I don't
It's
think
kind of
she's
foreshadowing,
I
or
hope she
no?
doesn't I don't know. I don't think she's going to retire. Maybe she's going to a new gimmick change.
Chelsea
Um
Green, or you think she's going back to WWE?
no, I don't think she's leaving to go back to WWE.
No.
Um,
Okay.
would you want to see Matt Cardona back to WWE?
As Mark Cardona, not as Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
He comes back. I would want to
Well,
if he does come back.
Matt Cardona said, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but Matt Cardona said that he doesn't mind going back being as Zack Ryder, but as the Matt Cardona gimmick. He doesn't
Uh,
want to go back to oh radio.
yeah.
He doesn't
I
want
mean,
all that.
I would want him to come back, but like acknowledge that like that's not truly me. I'm not really Zack Ryder. I'm Matt Cardona, and this is who I really am.
Yeah,
Like the look he had, like you said, keep the same look, but like actually announce it. Like that was just me appealing to the bosses, but this is actually me here. And then he's like, I could fight you here, I could fight you there, I could fight you in a death match. Like obviously they won't do blood because it's WWE anymore. Even
right.
Triple H doesn't want blood because like you just want to risk hepatitis and less. You don't want all those diseases and stuff too.
Oh,
You're like,
you went that way, huh?
I know I went that way. Yep.
Okay.
No, I mean they obviously get tested before, but like obviously WWE doesn't want to deal with blood anymore. They're like maybe a little bit blood, like if the two workers are really like good at it.
It's more in the story if it's
Yeah,
necessary.
like first blood match be if it's like a blood feud. Like if it does happen with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, that could be
Right.
a blood feud. Like okay, that could be a first blood match or something.
Mm.
But that'd be like a rare occasion. Like only a few guys could do it. Not every wrestler should be in a first blood match or bleed in general.
So before we end the show, rumor still has it that CM Punk is not done with AEW.
Hmm.
And then there's still rumors that we're gonna get The Rock versus Roman Reigns because we talked about it before. You don't need a big build up for that.
No.
You don't. You could just announce it. But I feel like I feel like The Rock should just come back when the Royal Rumble. But we also, man, we keep forgetting about one person, and that's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, dude. What happened?
You know,
Is he coming back? I thought he was supposed to come back last month.
no, no, no. That was the earliest he may come back, but they're
Oh,
saying
okay.
they may save him for the Royal Rumble. I mean, at this
Ooh.
point, why not?
There's
You
no
know,
pay-per-views after Survivor Series,
Survivor Series is the last pay-per-view.
so might
Well,
as well
and
wait a little
yeah,
bit.
because then after that is day one. But
Was
that what yeah, it's canceled. Is it officially canceled now?
Yeah, it's not on the lineup.
Okay. And then what we
So
got? Then we got Royal Rumble. Then we
Royal
got
Rumble in San Antonio, then we got the Elimination Chamber in Montreal, then you got WrestleMania in April, and then after that it's I don't know what's in May. I
possibly
forgot.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, they just keep it as Backlash. So WrestleMania
Yeah,
Backlash sounds so weird to me.
it does.
Or just make
I
yeah,
feel like
just keep
WrestleMania Backlash is WrestleMania night two.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it,
It's and then after that, who knows? I think probably one more Saudi and one more UK and obviously SummerSlam and no more gimmick pay-per-views, I think. No
yeah,
TLC,
no
no
more
Money in
Hell
the
in a
Bank,
Cell, no more TLC.
no
I didn't
no
I didn't
TSC.
mind.
TSC hasn't been around since 2021, but yeah,
Yeah.
there was no this year or last year even.
And then Hell in a Cell, like we talked once again, we talked about it before. This year's Hell in a Cell was the great Hell in a Cell, and it's a great one to just end it.
Yeah.
Don't bring it back. So, yeah, I guess this wraps it up for this episode. So
Yeah, man.
take us home, Ever.
Yep, listeners, before we go, make sure to check out our merch store at teespring.com and Pro Wrestling Tees. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod, Twitter at New Entry WP, and follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Radio Public. If you haven't already, check us out on YouTube at New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Help by supporting, liking, and sharing. And all right, listeners,
Yeah.
this will be it for this episode. I'm Ever, and this is Ian.
And we are out.
Bye, guys.